Attorney Jonathan Elson, reminding you that if you've been injured in an auto accident, it's important to have somebody on your side. When you need a lawyer,
then you need Nelson.
Yesterday, the trial continued with Heather Pate back on the stand for attorney Tom Gibson's cross-examination regarding what led up to the murder of Roy Jaggers Brad Main was allegedly involved in. The two other suspects, Kevin Dent and Heather Pate, already pleaded guilty. During the cross-examination, Heather was asked about what occurred on July 30th of 2021. Heather goes on to state that she and Dent were playing pool at a bar until approximately 5 a.m. She also stated how she and Roy were friends and that Roy had watched the kids several times before. Pate continued stating she and Dent had checked her security cam footage because Jaggers' message asking for her melatonin sent her red flags. In the security footage, Roy was allegedly walking in the living room in his underwear, punching the air while holding a knife, and seemed anxious. Her 4-year-old son was allegedly present on the couch, screaming, "I'm never going to sleep in my entire life," to which Roy responded allegedly shouting to shut up or I'll call your mom. She reiterated discovering her son's privates were bruised and how her son told her.
I mean, how would a mother feel when their son tells you that he's been hurt by someone that you trusted? It's beyond words.
She and Kevin interrogated Roy at her place around 9 p.m. However, she also stated that Roy allegedly admitted to touching her son.
He said I tugged on his
The prosecution team makes a retort to these claims.
But I don't want this to turn into an attempt to prosecute Mr. Jaggers for some crime and thereby turn into a nullification argument that it's okay to kill child molesters.
Then continued to reiterate allegedly meeting Brad and Pahrump with Kevin while Roy was handcuffed in the back seat. After Heather's cross-examination finished, another witness took to the stand to testify, Norman Mullet, who worked for Brad Main in the past. Norman began testifying about an alleged call he received from Brad Main on the day of the murder, stating that Main allegedly stated that, "I think I screwed up. I think I took it too far." Norman continued stating Brad allegedly said, "We found a chomo and tried to teach him a lesson but took it too far, and he was in trouble." Chomo being a slang term that means child molester. Norman went on to state that Brad allegedly said Roy was still alive and that they drove out to Cathedral Canyon, allegedly picking up another person later identified as Kevin Dent. When they arrived at Cathedral Canyon, Mullet stated that Main and Dent allegedly ran down the canyon. Mullet stood at the cliff overlooking the two and allegedly saw them standing over Roy's dead, naked body. Norman stated he started yelling at them, mad that they brought him along. That's when Mullet says he heard someone call the police due to allegedly seeing Brad and Kevin over the body. Norman then continues stating that Dent and Main allegedly ran back, got into the truck with Mullet, and drove off. Dent was dropped off, Mullet stating that he got in Heather Pate's car.
That's when the cops were coming. There was 2 trucks and 2 cars. I looked at Brad and I said, "You're done, dude, just pull over."
When Mullet and Main arrived back at Main's house, Main allegedly placed 2 trash bags and a large box in Mullet's truck. Then Mullet left. When he got home, Mullet stated that he opened the box and then immediately shut it after allegedly seeing it filled with weapons. Cops later visited Mullet and acquired both the trash bags and the box. Stay tuned to see Kevin Dent's testimony, who took a plea deal alongside Heather Pate regarding the murder of Roy Jaggers.